Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of the Spider-Man pixel art tutorial from Civil War. Now, you may be wondering, Felix, you're no longer Loki. I know, because of Minecraft and Xbox took away the Marvel Avengers skin pack, so I can't be Loki, so we're going to be Master Chief from now on. So, let's get right into this. I know it's been like over 3 weeks since part 1. I'm sorry guys, I've been slacking. I'm not going to be slacking anymore. Alright, so we're going to start off by using the... We're going to start off by using the netherrack. So let's switch over to the netherrack. We're going to fill in some of Spider-Man's empty spaces here, and then we're going to continue the outline, just so you can see what we're going to be working with when it comes to the pattern and filling in these large spaces. So we're going to start off with the netherrack, and we're going to head down here to the very small part down here, down to the bottom right of this empty space. And we're going to start, let's say, not from this grass block here. We're going to move grass block over to the right, so we're going to start from there. That's our starting spot right there on top of that grass block. And we're going to be placing 3 of them going diagonal up to the left, or not to the left, to the right. Sorry, that's 1, 2, and 3. So it should look like that, with that 1 block space there. Now, just to give you a heads up, Spider-Man's outfit costume thing, it's going to be looking like a checkboard pattern. It's going to be a very simple and easy pattern. You'll see what I mean when we're done filling in some of these spaces. So now that we have the nether brick like that, what we're going to be doing next is starting from the middle block of these 3 nether bricks, or nether racks. Nether racks. So starting from here, we're going to be placing 1 nether rack going down to the right. So that's 1. Very simple and easy. And once we've done that, we're going to head over here to the left, going back to these 2 black walls. We're going to start from the top block on the right side of it, so starting from there. With the netherrack, we're going to be placing 4 of these going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 blocks. Now you can see somewhat of the checkered pattern that we have going on. So now what we're going to be doing next is switching over to the pink stained clay. Now with the pink stained clay, we're going to continue the checkboard pattern. So we have these blocks going like that. So we're going to start from here. And we're going to be placing 2 still going diagonal up to the right. So 2 diagonal. That's 1 and 2 going to the right. So you can see that all we're doing is just continuing the checkboard pattern. So we're going to head down to this netherrack. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Continuing the checkboard pattern. Just adding 2 more like this. And you can see we still have some empty space here, so we're going to continue the checkboard pattern. So we're going to place 1 pink clay there and 1 pink clay there. Again, remember, this is staying within the black wool outline here of this empty space. So we have this checkboard pattern going on. This essentially is going to be the same thing. It's not going to be used with the same blocks, but it's going to be used as the same pattern. We have these empty block spaces evenly separated by different blocks that we just placed. So from here, we're going to be switching over to the red wall. Now with the red wall, all we're going to do now is just fill in all of these empty spaces here with the red wall. Let's go and fill that in with red. All of that in. And it should look like that. Very simple and easy. Now we're going to switch back over to the netherrack. Now with the netherrack, we're going to head to this empty space here. And we're going to start, let's say, at the very bottom part of it, because it's going to continue the same pattern of the next one. So essentially it's going to have the same pattern. You can see that, just to give you an example, we placed these first 3 netherracks, and then up here we had the exact same netherracks going in the same pattern. So we had this there, and now we're starting from here. So the pattern is going to remain consistent throughout the entire costume of Spider-Man. It's never going to be changing anything, really. But the blocks, different type of blocks will be changing. Just keep that in mind. So now starting from there, because that's where the pattern continues, crossing this black wool outline. So from here, we're going to be placing 5 of them going diagonal up to the right. So 5 diagonal to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now once you've done that, we're going to head back down here. We're going to start back down here, continuing where it would down here. So it'd start again from here now, because that's where the pattern's continuing, or not continuing, but we're going to continue the pattern starting back from here. So starting from there, right there, that's our starting point. We're going to be placing another 5 going to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of the placements. So it should look like that. Now we're going to head back down here, kind of resetting our position. So the next spot that this pattern would start from is right there, from that black wall, because the empty space there separating. It's very simple. So from here, we're just going to add another 5 blocks to the going up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not up to the right, but diagonal. You already know. But just to save us some time, I'm just going to say the number, and then you should probably already understand that we're going this way, going diagonal. Let's see. Yeah, we're doing everything correctly. Make sure it looks like that. Now for the next spot to start is right here, because again, that's where the pattern is taking us. So starting from there, we're going to be placing another 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Now, I don't want any of you guys rushing ahead thinking that you'll know what this pattern is, or that pattern is, or any future pattern is. Because, again, like I mentioned before, the block types will change. In other words, the color of it, so the shades. So don't go rushing into it thinking you know all the other spots. Just take your time. Alright, so now let's start back down here. The next place where we're going to start from here is going to be placing another 5 going to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of those placements. Head back up here. Now, the next spot that we're going to be starting from would be right there. So that's our spot right there. Right where I place it. So you're going to be putting a placement block there to start there. And from here, we're just going to be placing another 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's get rid of all of those placement blocks. And then switch back over to the nether rack. And let's see, starting from here now. Again, this is the next spot that we're going to start from. The next logical spot. We're going to be placing another 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of those placements. Let's head back to the next point where we're going to be starting from, which is right there. And we're going to be placing another 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's get rid of these blocks and head back over here. Now the next spot that we're going to be starting from is next to this block of coal. So it's going to be there, but this time we're only going to be placing 4. Not 5, but 4. Just place 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of those. Now from here, the next spot to start wouldn't be at that empty space, but it would be up here. From the middle block of these 3 block of coals, this is the next spot where we're going to be starting from. And all we're going to be doing here is just placing 1 netherrack. Let's put 1 netherrack there. So that's 1. And now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing another block going up to the right. So that's 1. Now I'm going to fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this. Now once you've done that, you're going to do the exact same thing that we did down here. We're going to switch back over to the pink stained clay. And with the pink stained clay, you notice that after we place these netherracks down here, we continued the pattern with the pink stained clay continuing going up to the right like this. So essentially that's what we're going to be doing now. Just continuing the pattern of going to the right, going up here, up to the right, going diagonal, up to the right with the pink stained clays. So, just to give you an example, I'm not going to be saying all the numbers and whatnot. You should understand this by now. It's just a pattern. It's just a very simple pattern, I should say. And we're just going to continue it, going up to the right. Shouldn't be hard at all. Like I mentioned before, sometimes these empty spaces won't be filled in with the red wool that it's about to be filled in, but it's actually going to be filled in with different type of colors, and it's not always going to be very simple with one solid color. Sometimes some of these areas might be filled in with 2 different type of colors, so just keep that in mind. Don't rush ahead just because you think you might know what color we're going to be filling it in with, because later on it's going to be switching it up, but not in this tutorial part. It might be in part 3, because right now I'm going to be focusing on getting some of the outlines done. Right now, we're just doing this pattern so you can see what lies ahead. Okay, so again, just very simple checkboard pattern, just continuing from where we left off with another rack. This tutorial should not be hard at all, it should be very easy. Difficulty set to easy. Alright, let's get rid of those. And remember to take your time. You don't want to accidentally misplace a block here, especially since I'm not really instructing you on where to place it. I'm just telling you it's a pattern. And you can see that once we've reached this upper point here, we just continue the pattern. So we just place a block, empty space, block, empty space, block. So again, I'll fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this. Now once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the red wall, and this is one of the easiest areas here to fill in. We're just going to be filling in those empty spaces that we left behind with red wool. Again, like I mentioned, it's not always going to be with one single color, so just keep that in mind. We might switch it up and add some netherrack and then add a little bit of red wool, and vice versa. But I'll go ahead and give you a good example of this next area that we're going to be filling it in with the red wool. But for now, let's just fill in this red wool. And for future reference, I'm going to be time-lapsing some of these larger empty spaces, so I don't have to fill in the empty time or empty space while we're filling this in, just so I can get some more blocks being placed instead of me just talking to you while I fill this in. But I decided to use this empty space, empty time, empty whatever, so I can go ahead and tell you what's going to go on in the next and future tutorial parts for Spider-Man. Alright, so when you're done filling it in, it should look like that. Now what we're going to be doing next for this next part is we're going to switch this up a bit. We're going to start off with the, why not? Let's start off with the red wall. We're going to start from the very bottom right corner. So going down here to the very bottom right corner of this large empty space, right there. Right next to that black wall, right there with a red wall, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 3 diagonal, that's 1. Whoops, using the wrong block. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going this way, going up to the left. So it should look like that. Now once you've done that, we're going to do the exact same thing here. We're just going to reset and go back down. So the next spot that we're going to be starting from is right there. So from here, we're going to be placing 2 to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Again, this is all going into just a pattern form. Very easy. Let's get rid of that. And the next one would be, actually no. We're actually going to make this a 3, not 2. We placed 2 here, that's fine. We're just going to add 1 more. That's 3. There we go. It looked a little off to me. So there we go. It should look like this. First we had 3, and then we had 3, not 2. Okay. Again, make sure to pause the video if you have to. So let's head back up here, and the next area that we're going to be starting from, obviously, is right here. And we're going to be placing 3 blocks going to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Once you've done that, we're going to head back to the next spot that we're going to be starting from, and we're going to be placing 2. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to start from the next spot, which is going to be right there, and we're going to be placing 2. So that's 1 and 2. Next, we're going to be placing 2 more blocks to the next spot. So the next spot that we're going to be starting from is right there. Again, continuing the pattern. So that's 1 and 2. So I'm going to fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. Now that we've done that, we're going to be switching over to the netherrack. So let's switch over to the netherrack now. And from this same empty space here, we're going to start this time from the bottom left spot. So starting down here next to these 2 black walls, we're going to start from the right side of it on top of this grass block by placing 2 nether bricks going up. So that's 1 and 2. And while we're at it, starting from the bottom block on the right side of it, we're going to be placing 1 nether brick on top of this grass block. So go ahead and put 1 nether brick there. So we have this L shape. Once you've done that, starting back up here from the top block of the 2, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 3s going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 3. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 5 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. And now you're going to be placing 3 blocks going from this 1 block. We're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And now place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. That's 1, 2. So now once you've done that, you're going to be filling in these 4 empty spaces here that we left behind in between the nether brick and the black wool, and that one small spot in between the nether brick and the block of coal. So go ahead and fill in these 4 empty spaces here with the nether brick. Only this side here, not over there. I'm not filling anything over there yet. Let's fill that in. So I'll fly back a bit. So you can see that it should look exactly like that when you're done filling in those empty spaces with the nether brick. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to head back over here, going back to the red wool. Now with the red wool, we're going to be doing the exact same thing we did with the netherrack and the pink clay. You remember with the netherrack, we first placed the netherrack checkerboard pattern, and then we just continued that pattern by going up with the pink clay. This time we did it a little backwards with different type of blocks. We had the red wool here, and now we're going to continue the pattern by placing the nether brick. If you don't know what that means here, it's just the same thing, but just kind of in an opposite way. So the nether brick pattern is going to go like this. You see how we just continued it? Let me get rid of those placement blocks. You see how it's still part of it going up to the left like this? Going at a diagonal kind of way. Well, it is going diagonal, but yeah, it's going to be just doing that. So go ahead and just continue the pattern like so. It shouldn't be too hard at all to understand at this point. I'll do a little more here, just so you can see what we're working with. You can see that we're just continuing the pattern. I don't think I have to explain this part anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse this. In other words, I'm going to fast-forward myself doing this, and then you can go ahead and pause the video and just compare. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue the pattern with the time-lapse. And when you're done filling it in with the pattern, it should look like this. Now, I will say one thing. It's actually a little faster if you don't use the placement block, because I'm sure that the placement block might get in the way. Although you do run the risk of kind of maybe messing up and getting confused when it comes to these areas here, because you're still going to be using the same type of block and it might confuse you. So it's up to you. You don't have to use the placement block only when we're filling in large areas with the pattern. I still recommend using the placement block when we're doing black outlines like this, but when it comes just specifically for pixel arts that we're going to be doing patterns like this, I don't really think we need to use the placement block when it comes to these type of patterns. Alright, so once we've done that, this whole entire pattern, the next step is going to be filling it in with the netherrack. So let's go ahead and switch over to the netherrack and fill all of these empty spaces here with the netherrack block. So I'll go ahead and time-lapse that as well. And when we're done filling it in, it should look like this. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to, just to compare. So now for the remainder of this tutorial part, we're just going to be focusing on continuing Spider-Man's outline. In fact, I think we're going to be focusing on... for the next few parts, we're just going to be focusing on making Spider-Man's outline, because filling in these empty spaces can take up some time, and I really want to show a little more of the outline before we actually get to the filling in part. So the filling in part might actually come at the very end with a few parts here and there. So let's just go back to doing some black wool stuff. So with the black wool, we're going to head back over here, back to the left of this empty space. Well, it's not really an empty space, but we're going to be turning it into one. So we're going to start from, let's say, these two black wools that came after that one block. So starting from this block here, we're going to be placing 6 black wools going diagonal down to the left. So 6 diagonal. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Let's head back down here. And now from here, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 1. That's 1, 2, 2. And 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those blocks. Head back down. And now from this block, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to be placing 4 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it should be making contact with the ground, those 4 black wools. And it looks like I got a little shadow glitch going on there. There we go, I fixed it. Okay, so now that we have our 4 black wools there, we're going to switch over to the red wool for just a sec, and we're going to be placing a red wool underneath these 3 black wools. So put 1 red wool there. Then you're going to be switching back over to the black wool and place 1 black wool underneath the red wool. So that's 1. And now from that 1 black wool, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. So that's 1 and 2. Now, once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the red wool again, and you're going to be placing 1 red wool on top of these 2 black wools. Put 1 red wool there. And now from this 1 red, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left with red wool. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to quickly switch over to the lapis block. And with the lapis block, we're just going to be filling in this small space here with the lapis. So just fill that in with lapis. Once you've done that, you're going to be switching back over to the black wool. We're going to start down here from the bottom block on the left side of these 2 reds. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 blacks going to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Next, starting on top of the right block of these 2 blacks, so from there we're going to be placing 3 black wools going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So it should look like this. Now, once we've done that, what we're going to be doing next is heading back up here, and we're going to switch over to the netherrack. Now, on top of this 1 black wool, we're going to be placing 1 netherrack. So that's 1. Once you've done that, you're going to be switching back over to the black wool, and starting on top of this 1 netherrack, we're going to be placing 3 black wools going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And now, to close this off, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going, or not 3 blocks, 2 blocks. We're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1 and 2. Get rid of that placement block. It should look like this. Once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the netherrack, and we're going to be filling in these empty spaces here with the netherrack. So go ahead and fill that in with netherrack. And now we have this small little part of Spider-Man done. To back up here, and if you're wondering, this large empty space that you see right here, this is completely empty. We're never going to be filling this in with anything. This is just the space in between Spider-Man's stomach and ribs, his side, and his arm right here. So this is just the space, the empty space that you're seeing in between his body and his arm. It's extending over here. So this is nothing right here. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so now let's switch back over to the black wool. Now with the black wool, we're going to head back up here. Back to these 3 sets of 2s that we had here in the first part, and that's also above the area that we just started from here, going down to the left from those two. So, heading back up here, back to these two black walls. On the left side of it, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 3s going across on the lower level to the left. 3 sets of 3s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 3. Let's go ahead and get rid of those placements. Now, once we've done that, we're going to head back over here, and we're going to be placing 1 black wall going down to the left. That's 1. And now let's switch over to a nether rack, and with the nether rack, we're going to be placing 1 block underneath this black wall. Let's put 1 nether rack there. So just 1 nether rack underneath that 1 block. Now, once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the black wall. And on the left side of this 1 netherrack, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, starting underneath this 1 netherrack, we're going to be placing 2 black walls going down. So that's 1 and 2. Now, for the right side of this 1 block, we're going to be placing 3 black walls going to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now to close the small part off, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So 2 diagonal. That's 1 and 2. So that's 2 blocks that went diagonal. Diagonal. And let's see. Do we really have to do... Yeah, okay. I'm just checking right now from the bottom of it. And I was going to do some blue, but you know what? We'll save that for later. Let's just switch over to the nether brick. Now with the nether brick, let's go to this empty space here in between these 3 black walls. 3 up here and 3 down there. And in the middle of it, we're just going to be placing 1 nether rack. Or nether brick, like that. So I always get those 2 stupid names confused. Still don't understand why they didn't come up with like a better name that separated them. Nether brick, nether rack. Still, both start with nether. Alright, so let's switch back over to the nether rack now. And we're going to be filling in these empty spaces here with the netherrack. So just fill those in. And it should look like that. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to be switching over to the black wall. And with the black wall, we're going to start down here. From these 2 black walls that went underneath this 1 netherrack. So starting from there, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going down on the left. 2 sets of 3s going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. Let's get rid of those. Let's head back down here. And now starting from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. Now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of those. And from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. That's 2 sets of 2s. Let's get rid of those placements. And now to close this area off, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of those placement blocks, and as you can see, it should be making contact with the ground, and we still have our little center block there. You shouldn't have gotten rid of it. So the only time you actually get rid of the center block is when I tell you to. And we're about to get rid of it in just a sec. Just be patient. So now that we made contact with the black wall, or 3 black walls here with the ground, we're going to move to the center block. And if you gotten rid of it, that's your fault. But if you didn't, or if you did, I'll go ahead and help you out. And let this be a lesson to you. Never get rid of the center block until I tell you to. So from the 1 black wall that was part of the 3 that just made contact here, all that's separating it is 3 blocks. 3 empty spaces, you can see. So to fix it, if you did get rid of it, just put 3 placement blocks is and put a black wool there. So that's where the center block should be. Alright, so now from the center block, what we're going to actually do from here is just replace this center block with a placement block. So it should look like that. So get rid of the center block and put a placement block there in its place. And from there, we're going to switch over to the black wool, starting on the right side of this placement. So from there, we're going to be placing 4 of these black wools going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 4, not 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get rid of those placements. As you can see, it should look like that. Our 4 blocks. Now from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Let's get rid of those. Head back up here. And from here, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get rid of those placements. Head back up. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 5 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we've done that, we're going to be placing 6 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's head back, get rid of that. Let's head back over here. And now from this block, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's fly back over, get rid of that placement, head back. And now from here, we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. So it should look like this. Now we're going to head back over here. Going back to these 6 black wools, we're going to start from the right block of the 6. So we're going to start on top of it. So starting from the top block on the right of these 6, we're going to be placing a linked 2 blocks going to the right. So from here, that's a linked 2 to the right. So that's 1 and 2. So it should look like that. That's a linked 2. It's connected. Now, you can see that the linked 2 made contact with these 3 black wools here. We're going to start underneath the middle block of these 3 black wools. So starting from there, we're going to be placing 1 black wool. So that's 1. Now from this 1 black wool, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. Again, I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this. Now we're going to fill in these 2 small spaces here with the black wools. Go and fill those 2 in with black. So it should look like this. Now once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and test out your ability to understand the pattern that's going on here. So these are the only 2 space, or not 2, actually, there's more than 2. Let me just clarify. This empty space here, we're not going to be filling this empty space here, this large space here, with anything just yet. This is for probably another part, because this is going to be involving the blue type of colors. But right now, we're going to be filling in these empty spaces here in between the outlines that we just placed. So just these empty spaces here. And it's going to consist of the pattern, the continued pattern of Spider-Man. So let's see if you can figure that out. Let's start down here, back to this 1 black wool. On the right side of it, we're just going to be placing 4 of them going up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is with the nether brick. We started with the nether brick, so it looks like that. Keeping in mind that we're going to continue the pattern of the Spider-Man. So where the nether brick should start next? Well, that's an easy answer. All you really have to do is understand where the nether rack is going to start. So the next spot for the nether rack is going to be right next to the nether brick. So we're going to be filling these empty spaces going up to the right. So it should look like that. And we're going to switch back over to the nether brick. Now with the nether brick, again, we're going to start on the right side of it because this is a pattern. So from there, we're just going to be placing these nether bricks until we go all the way up to the right. So let's go all the way up to the right, even if we have to crisscross, because right here we're crossing over outlines. But that's okay, because the pattern is consistent. So we filled in that empty space, and we crossed over some lines to get to that area. Again, because this is just a consistent pattern. So we can go ahead and switch over to the netherrack and fill in these empty spaces here with the netherrack, just down here. So it should look like that. Again, if it's going a little too fast for you and if you're having trouble understanding, just pause the video and give it a good look. It's nothing too hard at all. It's just that these black wool outlines are making it look confusing. But this entire pattern of Spider-Man is very consistent. You can see that give you an example, that the nether brick outline would still continue going like that. See, upwards. But it's not, so let's go ahead and just get rid of those nether bricks for now. Alright, so now let's head back up here. And the pattern with the nether brick would still continue, so one nether brick would go there, another would go there, another would go there, and another would go there, because we're continuing the pattern. And this is just to help you understand, so I don't have to go and continuously explain some of these stuff in the future parts when we're filling in this area in. So I hope you got an understanding of the pattern. It never changes, because now we're going to switch over to the netherrack, and you can see that we already had two netherracks going up here, and these are two empty spaces. You can see that the pattern still continues, so we're going to be filling those in, so we're doing everything correctly. Just filling those in. It doesn't matter about the black wool outline, the pattern is always going to remain the same. So I'll fly back a bit, and you can see that everything should look exactly like this. Very simple and easy once you get an understanding of it. The pattern will always remain the same. The black wool outlines will change, obviously. Alright, so now we're going to be switching back over to the black wool outline, with the black wool to do some more outlinings, and we'll go over here. And you might have noticed that I'm taking it somewhat easy in part 2, this part, because I still want you to understand it so you're not too confused when we're filling it in. Alright, we're going to head back to these 3 black wools that we have going across. You can see that we have this one black wool underneath the middle block of these 3, so I'll fly back a bit. I'll even put a placement block so you can see where we're going to be starting from. We're going to be starting from those 3 black wools, but not from the center. We're going to start from the left block of it. So starting from this block here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 2 diagonal, that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those. Fly back a bit. And you can see that it should look like this. We have those 2 going from the left block of those 3. Again, remember to pause the video if you have to. Alright, let's head back up here. Now, starting from this block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Next, you're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those blocks. Head back up. Now from here, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now, once you've done that, starting from the, let's say, top block of these 3, so starting from this block, we're going to be placing 2 black wools going up on the right. So we're switching sides, going up on the right. That's 1, 2. Now, once you've done that, you're going to be placing 4 black wools going diagonal up to the right. So 4 diagonal. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of those. There we go. And now to close this off, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. And it should be making contact with these 4 black wools that we had here going across in the part 1. So let's go ahead and get rid of those placement blocks. And everything should be connecting together. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to head back over here. Go going back to the 3 black walls that we had going up on the left, just before we placed those 2 that went up on the right. So let's head back to the 3 black walls. We're going to start from the middle block of these 3. So starting from the middle, right there, on the left side of it. So from there, we're going to be adding 6 black walls going to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 4 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. So that's 1. And it should look like this. Alright, now that we've done that, we're going to head back, let's say, because I want to continue the pattern here, but I don't want anybody to get too confused. So what we're going to be doing is, let's go back over here. Let's head back to the 3 black walls. Again, going back to these 3, starting from the top block of it, so start from here. We're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, that's 1, 1, 2, that's 2, and 1, 2, that's 3. Let's get rid of those placements. Head back up here. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. And that's about it. 2 sets of 3s, I said, right? Okay, just double checking. That's 2 sets of 3s. So let's get rid of that and that. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. Alright, let's head back up here. And now starting from this block, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm going to do a little quick recap, because I don't want any of you guys messing this pixel art up, because I definitely want all the time that you spent into making this pixel art worth it. So heading back down here, starting from the top block of those 3, this is just a recap. We had the 3 sets of 2s here, and then we had the 2 sets of 3s, and then we just had 4 blocks. So it should look like that. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now starting from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the left. It's 1, 2, 3, 1. That's the first set. 1, 2, 3, 2. That's the second set of 3s. So let's get rid of those placements. And now what we're going to be doing is heading back to the first set of 3s, which is right here. Not down there, still up here, to the first set. This is the first set. That's the second set. So let's head to the first set of 3s. We're going to start from the bottom block on the left side of it. So starting from there, we're going to be adding 8 black walls going to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And once you've done that, you're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. So that's 1. And now that we've done that, we're going to head back up here, going back to the top block of these 3 here. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2. Now that we've done that, what we're going to be doing is, we're going to head back down here. We're going to head back to these 4 black walls that we had going up just before we placed these 3 that also had the 8 blocks next to it. So heading back to these 4 black walls from the top block. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now you're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. That's 1. And now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 4 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. Now that we've done that, we're going to head back up here, going back to the 2 black walls that we had going up on the left. So starting from this block, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. Once you've done that, we're going to head back over here, going back to the right, going back to these 2 black walls that we had going up on the left. So this time, again, starting from the top block. So from there, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So 2 diagonal. That's 1 and 2. And now we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2, 1 and 1, 2, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So 5 diagonal. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of those placements. And now that we've gotten rid of those placement blocks, what we're going to be doing next is placing 2 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1 and 2. And actually, that's not 2. That's 3. I said 2 diagonal, but we actually need 3, so that's 3. That's my mistake right there. So after we placed these 2 black walls that went down on the right, we had 3 diagonal, not 2. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And you can see that these 3 should be making contact with these 2 black walls that we already had here. So I'll fly back a bit, and you can see that everything should look exactly like this so far. So go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Because now I'm going to go ahead and pause here and continue my Spider-Man pixel art tutorial from the Civil War in part 3. And I promise you that it will not take this long for the next part to come out. So I'm going to be going back to the whole daily upload schedule and whatnot. You can go ahead and check out the Pawu video, check out this week's schedule on the uploads. So with all that being said, make sure to stay tuned in for the next part of the Spider-Man pixel art tutorial, and make sure to stay tuned in for more Minecraft videos.